Hello, everyone. It's Graham Coath with my favourite time of the day. Oh, I always look forward to this time when I get to speak to another musician, another artist about their music. It's 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. We've managed to get this far through the week already, and I'm going to be speaking in a minute to Julia Bottararo. How do you pronounce your surname?
Bottaro, Giulia Bottaro.
Bottaro. Okay.
Yeah.
My work colleague who speaks fluent Italian is now, is now probably going, oh dear, honestly. So I'm going to be speaking to Julia any minute now, but first we're just going to have this.
I need to get going, Mel. I'll see you later.
So, Julia, thanks for joining me today, as I say. And we're going to be speaking about Vonamor and your music in the band in a minute. But first, take me all the way back to when you were just a wee young girl running around. Where did music start for you?
Thank you for having me, first of all.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
where did music start for you?
For me, I play with Vonamor with my sister as well, and with Luca Guidobaldi, the singer. So I would start from my sister and I because well, I know her very well. And we started when we were very, very little. I can remember that at 4 years old, we just we had our father is a guitarist, and my mother was could sing very well. So every night we had a bedtime story, but also some songs we played together. He had this beautiful guitar. I have it now for just
really.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
We started singing with him. And this is why we love with Vonamor also having all these voices together. I've always been accustomed to sing with someone else. So Simon and Garfunkel songs or the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, we started with this kind of music played with a guitar and the 3 or 4 of us singing. So
what did your dad used to play for you then when you were 4 years old? Or can you remember any of that?
Mainly the Beatles.
Really?
Yeah, all songs of the Beatles.
Wow.
He's a great fan of the Beatles. So we started with the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Simon and Garfunkel, and all the 60s songs.
That's amazing in 2 senses. One, that you had a really cool dad, okay, but also, there's actually not a lot of 4-year-olds want to sit and listen to Beatles songs or anything like that. I mean, my youngest, who's 6, loves having a song at night, normally played off of a phone or whatever now, but it's typically things like Goosey Goosey Gander. That's one of his favorites. Or another one at the moment is there's a song about the planets. He loves that. Yeah.
Probably because he started playing that kind of song and we didn't know anything else. But we love the Beatles and Simon and Garfunkel and all that stuff. We still love it, and it has some beautiful chords and ways of mixing voices, possibilities too. Well, this is why then I fell in love with the bass guitar. I play the bass guitar because I was in love with Paul McCartney.
Oh right, absolutely. What was it? When did you start playing bass guitar?
Then we started playing. We started with a musical school. I started playing the metal flute because I had seen always with my parents. My sister and I went to a concert, a gig with the Jethro Tull. So
Really?
my first gig was I saw this Ian Anderson playing the metal flute, and when I could play, I chose the metal flute. So when I was,
do you know what? I was about to mention Jethro Tull, but I was thinking actually you were going. Do you know what? You shocked me again, because I thought you're going to go somewhere with that and say, you know, my first concert was some classical, flautist. But your first concert where you saw flute was Ian Anderson, with Jethro Tull. Amazing.
Yeah, this is
Absolutely
why
amazing.
I've always wanted to have with my sister a rock band, because there's all these classical instruments, but we wanted to play them in a rock way.
Yeah. Can you stand on the one leg when you play your flute?
Yeah, sure.
You can do it. Yeah.
I sometimes do that for
my
fun.
word. There you go. Well, I've got to ask now. And what's your favorite Jethro Tull number? Do you have any favorite Jethro Tull tracks?
Well, the most famous ones, but I also like the ones with he plays with how is it called, the bird songs? Let me check.
You like things like Locomotive Breath?
Well, sure, but also the let me check.
I love this.
The
power of Google in the middle of an interview.
I'm awful with the names of people and songs. I try to play since I where is that? Bourré, because I could play both the bass guitar and the metal flute, but not together. So I had to learn the bass guitar first and then a metal flute.
Wow.
But also the ones when he sings and plays with acoustic guitar. So there is another kind of more acoustic songs.
Yeah. Wandering around. Oh.
So we started playing when we were 10 years old, the metal flute, and my sister started playing the piano.
Yeah.
And then so we could start playing with other people, like in orchestras and in marching bands. That was the first experience we had of a paid job.
Wow.
And we started playing in marching bands all over the Rome and nearby. And then I wanted to have a rock band, so I convinced my sister to find a guitarist and singer, and we started our first band, which was called the Shooting Stars.
How old were you then?
We were 15 years old.
Right. Yeah. And so not long after the marching band. Did you recruit anybody else from the marching band?
We were a full marching band before with the school. And then
in your first rock band, though, did you recruit anybody? Did you get anybody else from the marching band?
I recruited them.
Yes,
I was a little bit bossy.
I can imagine you learning all of these pieces at practice for the marching band, sort of, and then you go, guys, no, let's play this instead. In the shuffling madness.
It's tiring. It's tiresome to play in a marching band. You have to
absolutely
get ready for everything.
So that means, does that mean you can actually read sheet music as well then to play in a marching band? Did you learn how to read music?
Sure. And when we started playing the metal flute, and my sister started playing the clarinet and the saxophone, we've always studied and read music and solfeggio, all these things. Yeah, we have quite a classical background, the conservatoire as well. But then we have this side as part of our soul, which is more for blues and rock and electronic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So growing up, your dad and your mum, major influences. Your dad had cool, late night songs for you. which held you in good stead. You got into things like Jethro Tull because they took you to a concert. What was the first things that you ever bought as a teenager, whatever? What did you buy on record as a teenager?
The first one, I don't know if you know him. The first album was De Gregori, is an Italian singer and songwriter. And the international one was from the Oasis because I was
Oasis
after the Beatles.
yeah.
When you're 16.
Yeah. Which Oasis album was that? The first album? Definitely,
No,
maybe, or
I had Don't Look Back in Anger. I loved it.
Don't Look Back in Anger.
It's my favorite of the Oasis.
Oh my word! There you go. So
But
you really
if you don't know him, Francesco De Gregori, which was my first. Well, he's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was the second concert I went to after the Jethro Tull.
It's funny. It's funny how some artists translate across the pond, as it were. It's some artists sort of travel well across the sea, but I think there's one thing that's lacking in England, it's our acceptance of foreign language music, which I think is a shame, really. It's because none of us speak a different language other than
you don't
few.
need it
Because we're all lazy. I'm going to get a load of people going now I speak 5 languages, but in general, the English are pretty lazy at learning other languages because we just assume everybody else speaks English.
You don't need it.
So. And I think it's a shame in a way because there is all this great music out there which is sung in different languages, but it never seems to bother us in terms of our charts. Whenever I've gone abroad and I've gone in like the local supermarkets and you look at the CDs and whatever, it's always great when you go to some other countries where it's a mix between, you can see some of the albums that from England, but there's these other stars from other countries. I always try and come back with one, to try and listen to something else.
Sure.
I think that's
I do the same sometimes when I go abroad, and I like listening to other languages. I study languages, so it's I fell in love with several kinds of languages. But when you can listen to the songs and the sound, it's beautiful to understand the way you can use the languages and sounds in different ways. So, and this is
absolutely. I mean, it's not a great example of musicianship, but for me, that all started when, as a very young boy, I went to Austria, and we had our chef that was cooking for us every night in this hotel was also the singer in the hotel, and he had his own cassettes that you could buy, and. And I think he was called Collie the Singing Chef, but it was traditional sort of Austrian folk with yodeling in it. Yodeling,
yeah, that's very traditional.
which was great, Have you ever tried yodeling music? Have you ever?
No.
Never ventured that way.
No.
Something for the future. You never know.
You never know.
Yodeling, sample it.
We play and write also in German, Chinese, in French. So in our album, you can listen to several languages, but never tried this kind of.
So where did, obviously you and your sister are in this group? Where did Vonamor come from? Where did it? What's the name mean for a start?
Yeah. So then, just to get to this Vonamor, I can mention the fact that in the same city, we come from Rome, Italy. In the same city, Luca Guidobaldi, who is the singer of the band, had started playing in rock prog underground music, and we met when playing in the 2 different groups we had released in the same years these 2 albums.
Oh right. I love the artwork on both of those. Yeah, really cool. Yeah.
And we met on the different.
Are those still available, by the way? Those
They're
albums still available
available on Spotify.
on Spotify? Okay.
Ordinary Life from the Seventh Wheel, and In the Morning in the Dark from the Shooting Stars. So we met, and
Cool.
we fell in love with each other because of we liked very much his voice, because it reminded us of Jeff Buckley, or something that
Yeah.
there's something we liked very much, and we started playing together. So we started playing with the Vonamor then, mixing these two bands. And yes, we came up with this name because we wanted an easier name. In our previous experience, we had chosen this very complex names, which were in Italy. It was impossible; they were impossible to pronounce and write well. So we chose a name which was easier, hopefully, Vonamor. And we thought that we wanted to use different languages. So Von is from the German.
Yep.
So while Amor is both Latin, Italian, and Spanish, and similar to the French amour. So it could be a sort of European name, we thought.
So it's a made up word, is it?
Yep, it is a made up word.
Yeah. So what
meaning
do you?
Could be from love.
From love.
Of
that's
love,
lovely,
because
of
Von
love.
is both of and
Yeah.
from. So
isn't that-
the fact that music is love for us is a way to convey a sort of idea of passion and love and desire.
And now on the front of the album, you've got the R the other way round at the end. Here we are. Lovely. Look at that.
Yeah, this is.
I'm gonna get a copy of that sent to me, because I just have to have that R the other way round.
Yeah, because this is when we chose this name Vonamor, we found out that if you read it the other way around, could be off, which could be a sort
Romanoff.
of revolution in the name of music.
I knew you were going to go there, and I was thinking that's why the R's the other way around. That's
but
brilliant.
now we are so. I mean, it's so bad that we have this awful war, and so it's this connection with the Romanov has become such. We hope that it will end very soon, because we wanted a revolution in the name of love.
Yeah, not a war effort, which is completely devoid of love. No, absolutely. So in terms of your sound, as you say, there's an electronic element crept in there, which is where does that come from in your listening? Because so far you've told me about bands that you were into that were very much rock bands or progressive rock bands, etc. But where did the electronic element come in? What did you listen to over the years that influenced you electronic wise?
Electronic, we like all kinds of sort of musics from Berlin, for example, the DJs, or also the Nicolas Jarrett. I don't know the pronunciation, and then with the dark wave, when we were 16, 17. We fell in love with the New Order or the Joy Division. So we found out all this darkish sounds we hadn't known before. So it was a new discovery, and we liked it a lot.
I always love it when bands name check New Order. Do you, or have you, as a band, have you ever sat around and actually percussively sung Blue Monday to each other? I just need to know. Have you all sat there and go dum, 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 dum?
Not just for fun, because we when you have this perfect songs, it's a shame to make a cover with them. So we would like to play something from, for example, The Cure. I love The Forest, Into the Forest.
Oh.
But we try to. We think that you cannot have a cover of this amazing songs. So
I think you can if you completely make it your own.
yeah, but
You know.
yeah, you should completely change them and avoid using electronic as well. You could
Yeah,
maybe.
no, absolutely. I think anyone trying to sing like Robert Smith, it just wouldn't be right, would it? You
No,
know.
no,
Although
cannot.
there is saying that there is a small snippet of me doing a Robert Smith impersonation on Instagram.
Okay.
So there you go. But you know, not a whole song. That would be sacrilege. So you know that would really be completely wrong, and we should never have that. I'm a huge Cure fan. It just goes without saying, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So what before we talk even more about this album, what are you listening to now? Is there anything out there now that you're listening to that you're thinking, oh, this is great? There's some really good new music coming out.
We love Ghost Poet. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ghost Poet. Yeah.
Yeah, we also went to a gig, 2 gigs of him. Luckily, he went to Rome as well, so we were like crazy. We like him very much. I don't know what, but I like listening to a lot of music. I even listen to Billie Eilish. I mean, I'm not someone who is pickier. I like her songs a lot as well. And I like the Savages, for example, but I'm waiting for some new songs from them.
Come on, Savages.
Come
Hurry
on.
up, please.
Yeah, because I missed their concert, and I wish I could listen to them again. And Kate Tempest. I don't know if
Kate Tempest.
yeah, she's amazing the way she uses words as a poem. I mean,
No, yeah, absolutely. Can you spit rhymes like Kate Tempest? Have you have you ever tried?
I tried. I even wrote a song for next album, maybe, which is like similar, but yeah, I love.
Well, maybe you need to get Kate Tempest to come and do the rap for you, yeah?
That would be much better. Sometimes we try just to have fun with Luca as well as a singer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, I love this album. I mean, it's hugely experimental in places. You know, as you say, it's the free voice. I suppose it's kind of like a darker, to some extent. Although, if you look at their songs, lyrically, they were quite dark anyway. But I was going to say, in thematically, sort of sound wise, sonically, it's a darker, more stripped back version of Fleetwood Mac. Because vocally, you've got those kind of, you know, those voices going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a good way of putting it? It doesn't sound anything like Fleetwood Mac, but you know what I'm saying. Vocally, the idea of those free type voices really cutting through. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, and I love the fact that she is giving importance to lyrics as if they were poems, because it's what we think always. If you listen to many Italian songwriters, I mean, lyrics are almost poems if they are very well written, and I think that many people tend to disregard this aspect. But if you really take care of composing lyrics as well as music, this is why we wanted to in our album we have all the lyrics listed in our poster.
Oh yes,
we really take care of every single word in every single language.
Wow. Wow.
For us, lyrics are almost
absolutely key,
important as music. So this is it's so beautiful when you have poets and singers.
That's a great eyesight test as well. As I get older, I find lyric sheets more and more difficult, especially when the writing's really, really tiny.
No, it's not too tiny.
It's not too bad. Not too bad.
No.
As I say, well, I'll let you know when I read it.
The poster, we chose to have a poster, and then let me see. because
Yeah.
Francesca Bottaro, my sister, is also graphic artist.
Very
So
cool.
it's something we wanted to. It's sort of a treat to anyone who choose to still buy something as a physical object.
And actually, and looking at the album cover and the artwork, it's actually very different, isn't it, from your previous two bands? In that it's quite.
Which is
It
yes.
it has a particular kind of look and feel. It's quite
also
simple but high design, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
We were naive. We were younger. Now we maybe we understood a little better what we wanted to convey, and also the fact that we changed a little bit music. It's much darker. Well, before we played more soft blues or rock, just a different kind of music. This is way darker.
Yeah, and it's got it kind of follows the kind of graphical lines of people like Zola Jesus, for example, or Emika, or I mean, are those bands that you or are those artists that you
The
listen
second
to?
one is the
Emika. Have you? I mean, Zola Jesus. Have you seen Zola Jesus's work? She's like, oh, I love the fact you're googling these as we talk.
You have to understand, if you had an interview in Italian, maybe you'd Google. No, I don't know, but I really like. No, I didn't know them. You can write me.
Well, this is the great thing about doing this show, which is that I normally give you something musically to go and listen to, and you give me something. So I've got this Italian artist that now I'm going to go and listen to because I've never enjoyed his music before, and you're going to go and listen to some of this stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
And we can all go away, and the audience are going to go away and listen to Vonamor, of course. That's the most important thing, right? Because you and I both know that this is a great album, but as of yet, a lot of people watching this or listening to this don't know how great it is. But by the time they finish, they'll be like, oh, that sounds so amazing. It's got all of these different elements in it. I really must go and check it out. There you go. So what's the ambition for Vonamor going forward in 2022? Are you going to do this live? Are you?
Yeah, we hope we can have a tour soon, but we have to wait for the pandemic to be safer and play. But for example, we were playing for a gig hopefully soon, but now the guitarist is having COVID, so we had to stop. So you have bands are facing difficult times.
Yeah.
So you have to stop for a while or try to play with I don't know, with Zoom or something else.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going on holiday. I mean, I've had to cancel 2 years in a row, right? But I am going on holiday later in the year to Coath, Greek island. So could kind of sneak in past Italy, right? And if I bring a large enough bag, I could sneak you all back out again, and you could come play a little tour of the UK. What do you reckon?
We played once in 2009. We played in London, and for 1 month with the previous band, and we would love to go there because you have so many more possibilities than in Rome. You have open mics and concerts where people really go and listen to music, which is amazing. Because if you come to Rome, many people go to concerts just to dance or to drink or to talk.
Oh, so the band's sort of like music in the background sort of thing.
It's a little bit in the background.
So you're like the jukebox for the evening. They go in, they get the drinks.
We prefer selecting the right clubs when you can play electronic music and people go and listen to music. But you really have to select the good clubs. So for the future, we will be selecting all over Italy the best clubs we have. We love playing in theaters as well, because we mix
Acoustics.
yeah, it's a mix, or in acoustics, and sometimes you can play also some electronics and do some readings, so mixing literature and music. You have to find other solutions. I mean, when you don't have the beautiful clubs that you have in London or in England.
And the other thing about that, and I mentioned it on the show with other people in the past as well, is because it would suit your music down to the ground, is you might just find that you find a theatre where there's just happens to be an orchestra lying about. Yeah.
Sorry?
You know that you might you might find a theatre where there's an orchestra who have kind of got stuck in the theatre, and you can just tag along. You know, you could do a gig with your music, but with the orchestra playing, just, you know, because they're there. That would be awful, wouldn't it? You know?
No, we've never played with an orchestra.
No, but you could do, couldn't you? If yeah, why not?
We could.
They're stuck in the theatre. You might as well use them.
It's a bit expensive.
No, because they're stuck there. They can't. They won't charge you. Well, you might have to buy them. You might have to buy them a packet of peanuts and a can of lager. But apart from that, it'll be fine. Honestly,
it could be.
Yeah.
I would love, for example, violins or many instruments you can have in an orchestra.
Yeah. Look, anybody listening, if you've got a stray orchestra that are, you know, stuck in Rome for the day and just fancy playing with Vonamor, that would be great. Right? There's no money available, but they will buy you some peanuts.
Yeah, I thought that for rehearsals or stuff could be.
Yeah. It would be fine.
Yeah, we would love. I mean, theater is such a beautiful environment where you can play, and it's a shame that during all these years they are facing so many difficulties. So
I totally agree. One last question before we go, and thank you so much for joining me today.
So quick.
I know, it's half an hour. It's just gone like that. Is this? And it's a question I ask a lot of people, which is, if you could play with one artist, dead or alive, who would they be?
I knew this question, so I got some information also from the band. Both Francesca and Luca, I think they would select Jeff Buckley.
Jeff Buckley, right? Yeah.
Living, my sister would like to play with Stephen Brown from the Tuxedo Moon.
Right.
She plays similar instruments, the same instruments, so it could be interesting to play together. While I would love to play with PJ Harvey. She's my
really.
PJ Harvey is the best. I went to some concerts when she was in Italy and in Milan. I cried. I was on the stage, and it was such an experience. So she is the best.
You could do a sort of remake, couldn't you, of a classic PJ Harvey? You could do Let Italy Shake.
We did Rid of Me.
Yeah, Rid of Me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also the song they had, PJ Harvey and Tom York.
Oh, that's amazing.
We love them.
Amazing. Yeah. What an amazing artist.
Yeah,
Polly Harvey is. Yeah. No, that works for me. So we'll tag her in and just see what happens. Okay.
Okay.
You know, you never know. All right. Let's see if we can make that happen. So the album's out.
Yes.
Yes. And where can people get it?
Everywhere. From you can get it physically from our label Time to Kill Records. They have a big cartel where you can have the physical album. Just check Vonamor Time to Kill Records and you'll find it. And of course, digitally, you can listen to it on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, iTunes, almost everywhere.
Yeah, but
So,
don't do that, folks. Don't do that. Well, I mean, do that, you know, from time to time, but buy the album.
yeah, that we really took so many time to compose it and to record it, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
also the graphical part, the artwork, we took care of it a lot. So it would be a different thing to have it physically, for sure.
I'd also really love. So I'm hoping you're going to do it. I'd really love a T-shirt with the album cover on. Is that going to happen?
We'll start doing some merchandise with pins and stuff.
Yes, yes. There you go. So hopefully sometime soon there will be T-shirts as well. Get a T-shirt, the CD. But once you've bought all of that, you're then allowed to download. You're then allowed to stream it. All right.
Yeah,
in the meantime,
musicians.
yes, exactly. In the meantime, only listen to 30 seconds of it, because that's all you're allowed to. All right. You've got to buy it, and until you've bought it, you can only listen to 30 seconds of it at a time. That's the rules for all music out there. You know.
Cool.
That really helps the musicians to actually record the next album, because otherwise they're living on thin air. Julia, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. Thanks for coming and talking about your music. I do really hope that a lot of people now go and investigate it and go, I don't mind if people come back and say, that doesn't sound anything like Fleetwood Mac. No, I know it doesn't. But they get the point about the harmonies and the vocals, etc. Enjoy the album, folks, because it really is very, very special. And you know, look at the lyrics in particular, because they've spent a lot of time actually writing lyrics that aren't just la 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 la. As in so many pop music these days. So you know, if people have spent the time, you want the lyric sheet so you can sing along. That's it. That's the way to go. Rock and roll. Julia, thanks for joining me. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.